the 9th generation Toyota Camry. This is it. It gets a new look, it gets a new interior, and a significant change to the powertrain. It's a lot to talk about, so let's get to it.
Let's start with the first thing you see, the exterior.
The overall shape of the Camry doesn't change all that much, but it does get a new front fascia, new squinty headlights, it gets an updated grille. Look, I'm not convinced that anyone is going to be sort of turning their head to see this, but what I will say is I do think that it's aging quite well.
But looks are always subjective, so I'll give you a moment to bask in all things Camry.
I'm going to echo my sentiments about the exterior when it comes to the interior. So this is the XSE. This is the top of the line trim. So obviously you're going to get all the bells and whistles. But you know what? I have been in the base model, and I have to tell you, I really do feel like that looks almost just as good as this one does. Toyota has done a top-notch job with the inside of the Camry.
So let's start with where you're sitting. The seats have gotten more comfortable, and on higher trims, they even get covered in leather.
So it's no secret, I'm not a 6'4" Mike Danger. I'm 5'4". That's fine. I, of course, have plenty of room here. We've got some adjustable seats. They really are very comfortable. Some tilting and telescoping of the steering wheel right here. So there's a lot of adjustability up front. Of course, when it comes to second row comfort and room, behind my seating position, I don't think anyone's gonna have any kind of problem. There's room to put your feet under the seat. I can't even stretch my legs out that far. They're not even that long. I do have a little bit of headroom here. We have a little bit of a sloped roof line, a little sporty look. Even when I sit in this middle seat, I am raised a little bit, so I am touching the headliner for sure. And then over here, this is behind Mike Danger's position. I think even he might be comfortable back here.
Yeah, I wonder if I do fit in this new Camry. So this is set for my ideal seating position. And sure, I got about a ½ inch of leg room and my feet fit under the seat nicely. Headroom, if I'm wearing a hat, it may graze the ceiling a little bit, but tall people in this middle seat, let me tell you, no, that's a big no. If you spread eagle a little bit, sure, but I mean, if you have people on your left and right, they're not gonna be comfortable. And you don't wanna sit in the middle seat like a crazy person anyway if nobody's over here. So yeah, there's plenty of space in here for a tall guy. Good job, Toyota. Good job, Camry.
And hey, Mike, there's a sunglasses holder.
No way. No, there isn't. Did you lie to me, Lynn? There is no sunglass holder. Toyota, I take it back. But at least you're comfortable. That's nice.
When it comes to cargo space, you're looking at 15.1 cubic feet in the trunk. It's generous, and you get 60/40 split seats, which make it more convenient to stash longer items.
The LE and SE lower trims both get a 7-inch digital gauge cluster, but if you go up to the XLE and the XSE, you're gonna get a 12.3-inch gauge cluster up here. It's customizable, it's really clear to see, it's really nice. The same goes for your infotainment screen as well. So on the base models, you're gonna get an 8-inch screen, but again, higher trim levels, you're gonna get up to this 12.3-inch screen here.
Graphics look good. Toyota's audio multimedia touchscreen gets a fairly quick processor, and it's easy to navigate and set up. You also get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across the trim walk.
While we are on it, you will get some great standard features even on the base model of this car. But of course, as with everything else, you do get more in the feature set when you go up to the XLE and XSE higher trims.
Base models come standard with push-button start, auto up-down power windows, dual-zone climate controls, and a telescoping steering wheel. When it comes to exterior amenities, you're looking at LED daytime running lights, 16-inch wheels, but those go up to 18 inches on the SE and XLE and 19s on the XSE.
There are packages that you can add on to your Camry to get a couple of extra features if you want them. For example, if you get the SE trim, which again is the second from the lowest trim, you can add a package that will get you this 12.3-inch screen. I actually really like this feature. I really appreciate that Toyota has done this because maybe you can't afford to get the XLE or the XSE, but this is an important component to you. I think it's great. Boy, I wish they did it on their Land Cruiser, because this smaller screen is maybe the one thing that kind of bugs me about the other one. But they're doing it in the Camry, I think is a great thing.
The Premium Plus package upgrades things like driver safety features, including front cross traffic alerts, lane change assist, and front and rear parking assist, and a 360-degree camera setup. But you also get a head-up display and a panoramic glass roof. But be mindful, not all packages are available on all trims, so check to make sure which features are the ones you're looking for and configure accordingly.
Speaking of safety features, the Toyota Camry does come with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 standards. That includes things like blind spot monitoring, stop and go cruise control, and a kind of a lane keeping assist if you sort of wander off a little bit. One thing I do want to say about that, there is a control here on the steering wheel that will allow you to shut it off. However, it's not like a permanent shut off. If you want to do that, you have to go and dig a little bit deeper into the gauge cluster to actually shut it off. I would prefer something that was a little bit more handy, but that's that.
So now we get to the part that some folks think might sound like a downgrade. There is no more V6, just a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine that pairs with an electric motor. But this is a Toyota hybrid, everyone, which Toyota, as we know, does very, very well. Power numbers on the front-wheel drive model, well, you get a combined 225 horses, and on the all-wheel drive version, you're looking at 232 horsepower. Yes, the V6 used to make 301 horsepower, so the thought is potentially that the Camry is going to feel a little bit underpowered.
Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. So engineers have sort of tweaked this, where they're using the torque from the motor and kind of cheating it to make it almost feel like this thing has a little bit more power than it actually does. You kind of get that early torque in the low part of the rev range, so early RPM, and honestly, when I put my foot down on the throttle, I don't feel the loss in horsepower really much at all.
There are 3 distinct drive modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport, which I have to tell you, there actually is a difference between the 3. Eco feels appropriately conservative and efficient, and Sport gives you a little bit more of an eager throttle. Pure EV mode is available when you're going a little bit slower and have the battery for it.
When it comes to driving this generation of Camry, I'm not going to shower you with sort of like grand platitudes. This is still a Camry, but it Camrys very, very well. The ride quality is very comfortable. It's very much what you would expect. When it comes to things like steering, the steering is nice and light. When it comes to the brakes, they're very confident, they feel good, they're solid under your foot. There's nothing really that stands out for you to complain about. You know, there is a reason why the Camry has been a #1 best-selling car in the United States basically for decades. It's pretty solid. They've pretty much dialed it in, and this generation is no different.
And now they're adding a benefit to that hybrid power that shouldn't disappoint anyone. Yes, I am talking about gas mileage numbers, and they look stellar. Even though there is a range depending on all-wheel drive and the aero packages on the cars, but the combined number is 10 mpg more than on the pure gas-powered version.
And yes, you can get all-wheel drive on all trim levels. Nice grip, there we go, nice turning radius. That all-wheel drive is going to give you power at all 4 wheels, going to give you a little bit more confidence when you're going around turns or if you live in a place that has inclement weather. Also, it's going to get you that little itty-bitty extra bit of horsepower, give you a little bit more pop. So this is probably something that if I were buying this, would opt for.
The visibility out of the Camry looks terrific. It's nice and quiet in here, even with a bit of moderately droning CVT. Yes, I know, but it does come with paddles, so you can pretend to be shifting. One thing to note though, if you put it in 4th gear, or it's 4th gear, and then you come to a complete stop, it kind of stays in 4th gear. So you do have to downshift often and regularly. It won't pick it up for you.
If you're ready to pull the trigger on a Camry or any other midsize sedan, click on that link somewhere over there in that corner and Kelley Blue Book can help you find a fair purchase price on one.
Pricing on the Toyota Camry starts at $29,495 for the LE front-wheel drive, but the top-end XSE all-wheel drive starts at $37,220. Both of those prices include destination charges. It starts arriving at dealerships shortly. Toyota stands by their Camrys for 3 years and 36,000 miles comprehensively, or 5 years and 60,000 miles when it comes to the powertrain.
A lot of people ask about EVs and batteries and how long they last and all that kind of stuff. Toyota's feeling pretty comfortable and pretty confident. So on this hybrid, you are going to have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on all of the hybrid components. And when it comes to the actual battery of this car, they're covering that for 10 years and 150,000 miles. So I think that if Toyota has confidence in this car, I think that means that you can have confidence in this car. I mean, how many of you out there have had a car for more than 10 years? Realistically. Go ahead, light up the comments section.
And while you're at it, if you're not a subscriber to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel, well, don't wait until the 10th generation Camry comes out.
The Toyota Camry is a highly drivable car, and now it's even more so. It gets a great new interior, lots of excellent tech, terrific standard features, and that very efficient hybrid engine so that you can go out and do more of what it is that you like doing. Look, you might sort of roll your eyes at a Toyota Camry, but you know what? Don't scoff at it, because these cars, when we do videos on these cars, they often get more views than when we shoot hypercars. So that obviously means that people like them, and Toyota is doing something very, very right.